What is going on, guys? We are back with another video in Madden 18 CFM, or Connected Franchise Mode, whatever you want to call it. I like to just call it franchise. Actually, I like to call it franchise, because that's my favorite way to say it. We, of course, are doing kind of what we did with the quarterbacks, but we are going to see what it's like if these rookies were, elsewhere. First things first, got to make sure that we, can see what they would have done. Not obviously, we kind of know in real life. We can see what they would have done not on their original team. There are a couple of teams that I didn't do the... Are you serious? I got to lower some of these stats. But there are a couple of teams I didn't do it for. Like, I didn't do any of the Packers rookies. Some of those guys, where, they look pretty good. You got Tariq Cohen looking pretty decent. Joe Mixon. Some of the guys I didn't do just because they aren't that big of an impact, and honestly, there was actually a lot of pretty good rookie running backs this year. So, I wanted to go with the main dudes. When you think of rookie running backs this year, you think of Kareem Hunt, you think of Dalvin Cook, Fournette. Honestly, Mccaffrey wasn't too great, but you still think of him. You think of Kamara. You think of, some of these guys. So I didn't do every single player. Sorry, but that's, I don't know. I just don't think it would have made any sense. Just got to make sure all of these guys are going to start. Even Stewart, I want to not start here. I mean, we already had this idea, but I'll allow Eric Davis to get a little bit of a shout out in this video because he also mentioned it. I was going to do that anyways, but technically he said it before I actually made the video, so he'll get a little shout out today. Kamara is an amazing player in Madden. I mean, he's an amazing player in real life, but I remember Lance James, old Lancey. Oh, I hate Kamara. I think he even mentioned him as gay at one point. I don't know. You can't even tell these days. Other than Latavius here, which obviously we can manually control, we have everyone. I think we have Dalvin. We have just about everyone. I love Latavius. He got a new card the other day, which is really nice. Not that expensive. Might go for him. We'll see. But I think we're ready to go. Joe Mixon, he's a decent overall. I just don't think of him as a player, even though he's decent. Like, don't get me wrong. If your player isn't here, it's not that they're not good. It's just I did the ones I wanted to do, realistically. I mean, we left some of the quarterbacks out as well. Like Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams, they've been pretty good for the Packers. They could have made this list easily. They're like 77s or higher. But that's beside the point. Let's go on and see how this team actually performs, or how these rookies actually perform. See if they do any better on their new teams. Obviously, some of these guys would benefit most likely from being on a new team. Like Kamara, he's not the full-time starter, so how would that change, And Dalvin Cook, being on a team with an actual good offensive line, maybe he wouldn't have gotten injured. Who knows? Even though I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, the Dalvin Cook one was a non-contact. I think he injured himself right before getting tackled. Can't remember. I remember watching the game 100%, and I knew he was out for the season because I was wanting the Vikings to lose because I'm a Packer fan. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, "Oh, you got to be kidding me!" Like Dalvin Cook's great, but they already have good running backs, so there's really no. For one, I wouldn't wish upon someone getting injured, especially since Aaron Rodgers got injured to the Vikings. But they already have good running backs the way it is. So even if Dalvin goes out, they still have an amazing rushing attack. So that was. I just remember that. I remember it. I remember the camera being pointed at him as well. Like, the camera was facing him head on, basically. They're both looking at each other, talking through the whole sim to get that revenue. Really not. I just have a damn talking issue. So Dalvin Cook and the Vikings are in the playoff. Wait, what? Were we 9 and? Oh, we were 10 and 6. I don't know why I thought we were not the division leaders. Which teams with rookies may... Wow, the Browns are 10 and 6. Interesting. Vikings, Saints, and I believe that's it. Chiefs missed. Panthers missed. Yeah, I believe there was only, 3 rookies that made it out of 6, maybe? I don't even honestly know. Let's take a look at Dalvin, though. Dalvin Cook, 1,450 yards, 4.4. We're actually going to write this down because this is honestly very tough for me to remember. But Dalvin, of course, had a great season as a Viking, as he most likely would have in real life. Let's move on to the next team. We're just going to go in order, I suppose. Hopefully I don't forget anyone. Chiefs, Kareem Hunt. They really split the carries. Not great. Not great at all. Hunt was half the yards of Cook with 3.6 per carry and 6 TDs. Not the greatest season there, pal. And then we have Fournette. Lots of touchdowns. Not the greatest yards per carry, which is honestly... I haven't really looked at his stats this year, but from what I've watched of him, that's kind of how he is. He's a bruiser. He just keeps taking hits, keeps taking carries, and he'll break one off here and there. Just keeps on trucking. So far, Dalvin clearly the best. Even with Stewart's stats being low and McCaffrey starting, he still split the carries and had less rushing attempts, and he just was not great in general. 720. 3.4, so far the worst of all of them, and 9 touchdowns. Let's take a look at his receiving, though. Average receiving. I would say a lot of the guys probably do have decent receiving stats, though, or at least decent receiving, yeah, I guess stats would be the right story. So, with Mark Ingram dropping, Alvin Kamara becomes the second best statistical running back, even though right now he's dominating in the real world. So, obviously, in ranking on their normal teams, it goes Dalvin, Kamara, Fournette, Hunt, and then, of course, Christian McCaffrey, who I think has just not been great at all. I haven't been paying attention too much to him lately, but was not looking good earlier in the year. I know that. He's on my fantasy team. How you doing, bro? I hate you. But I suppose we shall look. Well, actually, let's take a look who did win the Rookie of the Year awards, because for the most part, I think they're spread around the league. Yeah, it's a pretty spread league for the running backs. So AFC side, the best running back. Fournette actually won best running back, which obviously means he will also... Nope, I don't know why. I don't know why I said that was going to be the case. Mixon was actually pretty decent. NFC side, best running back is... Kamara actually won it too. I'm surprised that the rookies, 2 rookies actually took the cake for their respective sides. And Kamara won the Rookie of the Year. So Kamara did very well. Potentially real-life status. Maybe not running back, but definitely Offensive Rookie of the Year, I think. So do we win? We did win. Going against the Eagles. Are the Eagles going to beat the Vikes? They do. Was any of... I don't even remember if there was a single AFC team that made the Super Bowl, or made the playoffs. Maybe the Jags, actually. Chargers, Eagles. We in the offseason. Let's skip 1 week just to see who wins. Just the hell of it. You might as well just have all this statistical. Maybe someone goes back and watches every single video I had and said, okay, out of 110 Super Bowls, blah, blah. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Jeffrey Lurie wins his first Super Bowl. Eagles win. So here we are back on the Vikings, and there's not 100% a system on who I decided would be on what team, but I did have a little bit of a system. So first things first, I went with the best, but also the most fitting. Jags, I went with Kareem Hunt. Kamara's great, but I think Kareem Hunt fits the Jags better because, what is it called? Kareem Hunt. Wait, where are the... Oh, yeah, I forgot I was supposed to give Dalvin to the Chiefs. Kareem Hunt fits very well with Fournette. They're very similar players, I think, at least. Maybe not, actually. Maybe I'm wrong. Am I wrong? I guess Kamara probably would have fit better. Well, I guess Hunt is mainly good at like running through people, so I don't know. It is what it is. I decided Jags would get Kareem Hunt. I decided the Panthers would get Kamara, so the Panthers get a much better player, I think. And then I think a very fitting pick. Vikings, of course, we've seen land Fournette. The Chiefs will land Dalvin. And then, sadly, the Saints, who potentially landed the best running back, even though I think Dalvin might end up with the worst of the 5, I think, in Christian McCaffrey. So first things first, we do have the trade Dalvin Cook to the Chiefs. I want Spencer Ware so that I know Dalvin will start, but I don't want him at the same time. Watch them be like, nah, we don't want this trade, bro. Okay, they took it. I'm surprised. Normally they're like, no, sorry, can't take him. So we made all the adjustments, and we are going on to the playoffs. See if the Vikings, we can still make the playoffs with Fournette. who usually does go up pretty high. Dalvin's very close, though, as well. Wish we had someone like Dalvin on the Packers league. I really wanted to make that move, but I want the Packers league to be somewhat realistic. But Dalvin's so fun. He's so fun. It's too late. It's too late. Because he's already probably going to be like a 90-some overall. And then it would just be like I'm cheating. I really want Dalvin, though. He's so fun. 10-5-1, so a half a game better, I believe. Fournette, not 87 overall, but it seems like he was on par with Dalvin Cook for XP. So in this league, we have the Chiefs making the playoffs, the Saints making the playoffs, Vikings, and Steelers somehow still 7-9. I think they were 8-8 last time and they won it. But I believe 3 playoff teams again. I think there might have been a different one this time. But Leonard Fournette as a Viking, how does he compare to his normal self? So he has the exact same yards per carry, but he is 11 touchdowns down. Assuming 20 was the actual number. That seems a little high. I don't know, he might have had 20. But he is also about 130 yards up. So Leonard Fournette as a Viking isn't worse, but I can't tell if it's better. Moving on to the Chiefs, there should be a huge difference. Dalvin Cook somehow he just takes over the Chiefs. Dalvin on the Vikings was obviously better, but Kareem Hunt on the Chiefs was way worse. Kareem Hunt had about 500 yards less, 0.3 worse per carry, and 7 touchdowns less. But Chiefs Dalvin is 200 worse than Vikings, 0.5 worse per carry, but 2 touchdowns better. So definitely Dalvin as a Viking is way better, but Dalvin as a Chief is also much better than Kareem, it appears. Panthers, Alvin Kamara, who was actually really good as a Chief, technically doesn't do too much worse here. He does drop about 110 yards, but he gains a 0.3, which means they just split the carries more with him, or less technically with him. But he did have 9 less touchdowns, so we don't really know where to put that. But still, a really good season for him. And then I believe the last player here, Christian McCaffrey. I dropped Mark Ingram's stats all the way down. He was like a 78. It might have been less than when Kamara was here. Christian McCaffrey, he gets even worse somehow. He goes down about 400 yards. He does go 0.2 plus per carry. And then he also drops 3 touchdowns. So, yeah, McCaffrey through this experiment has clearly been the worst by far. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Deshaun Watson, just over Dalvin, just barely over Kareem. Joe Mixon, sorry you got snubbed in this video, but you're a good player. Running backs, Dalvin number 3 and Kareem number 9. Moving on to the NFC side, Offensive Rookie of the Year, Leonard Fournette. Then you got Alvin Kamara. And that is it. Jamal Williams was close, I guess. Running backs, Fournette was number 9. So that kind of puts it in perspective. He, what is it called? Offensive Rookie of the Year, but really not that close to best running back, which is kind of funny. But what should be noted is the Vikings make the playoffs twice. I don't remember if any other team made it twice. Let's go to the Super Bowl, see who wins this thing. We seen the Eagles won it last time. Could it be the Vikings? Could it be the Vikings? I honestly don't know if you could tell from there or not. All right, just want one little advance. Don't want the whole thing. Oh, the Chiefs made it to the Super Bowl though. Chiefs made it to the Super Bowl, 38-35. Falcons win. Let's see how well was it Dalvin? So rushing yardage, Dalvin Cook 4 touchdowns, 96 yards, 4.6 per carry. So they should have run the ball more with him. They should have given the ball more to him for sure. 4 touchdowns. Holy crap. So Dalvin Cook, I think, wins this. If I'm going to rank all 5 in accordance to how they perform, I'm going to give Dalvin 1, Kamara 2. Kamara not too far behind Dalvin either. Number 3, Fournette. Not too far behind either. He's very consistent. Kareem Hunt. And then way at the bottom is McCaffrey. Kareem Hunt wasn't super great, but he was much better than McCaffrey. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any ideas for stuff like this, let me know. I don't know if you guys want the NFL NFL draft redo series to come back. We haven't done one in like a week or two. But if you do, let me know. Maybe leave a like on the video or comment with a team or a 3-year period. But like I said, experiment, what if, rebuild challenge, different video game mode, whatever it may be. Let me know in the comment section. I always love to hear your guys' suggestions and just anything at all that's in there. So thanks for watching. Don't know if this is the only video for the day or if this is the last video of the day, but tomorrow, assuming this is a Saturday, will be the rebuild for the weekend. So hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys come back for next video. But until next video, see ya!